Hello friends, in this video tutorial, we will show you how to add required field validation in admin login form at server side. Under this Node.js MongoDB online doctor appointment booking system. For validate form data, here we will use Java validation library under admin model. In previous part, we have already made admin login form and submit login form data to server using JavaScript fetch API. So before validate admin form data, we have to put form data validation under this admin login form. So for put validation under login form, so we have to open admin model.js file. And under this file, let us start by defining a validation schema for the admin login using Java library. For this, we have to write constant login validation schema variable is equal to Java.object method. This line creates a new Java object, which will hold our validation rules for the login credentials. Next we have to define the validation rule for the admin email address field. So here in condition, we have to write Java.string method, .email method, .required method. So here, Java.string method specifies that the value must be a string. Next email method ensures that the string must have a valid email address format. And required method makes the email address a required field, meaning that it must be provided for the validation pass. After this, we have to define validation rule for the admin password field. So here in rule, we have to write Java.string method, .minimum method, with 6 as argument, and required method. So here, Java.string method specifies that the value must be a string. And minimum method, with 6 as argument, ensures that the string has minimum length of 6 characters. And required method makes the password a required field, that means, it must be provided for the validation to pass. So here, we have completes our login validation schema for validate login form data. Now we want to use this schema in other file, so here, in export statement, we have to write login validation schema name, so now we can use this schema in other file also. Now we have goes to server.js file, and here, we have to write login validation schema name under admin model import line, so now under this file also, we have to write this schema. Next we have goes to verify admin login route, and here, in try block, we have to write constant validation result variable is equal to login validation schema.validate method with 2 argument. In first argument, we have to write request.body, and in second argument, we have to write open and close bracket. And between this, we have to write abort early with false value. So this code will validate login form data, and if there is any validation error occur, then it will store under this validation error. So for check validation error, so here, we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write validation result variable.error variable. If this condition true, then it will execute if block of code. If this condition true, that means there is any validation error has been occur. And now, we want to send this error to client side, so here, we have to write response.status method with 400 status code. And after this, we have to write JSON method, and under this, we have to write JavaScript object. And in key, we have to write error, and in value, we have to write validation result.error.details variable. So it will send validation error to client side, and at client side, we will handle this error, and display on web page. And here, if there is no any validation error has occur, then it will execute else block of code. And under else block of code, we will validate admin user email and password data. But here, we want to send success message also, so here, we have to write response.status method with 200 status code. And after this, we have to write JSON method, and under this, we have to write message key, and in value, we have to write message like validation done successfully, so here, our server-side code is ready. Now we have goes to common.js file, and here, we want to convert validation error into HTML format. So here, we have to create new function with name like set validation error with data as parameter. Under this function, we have to write return statement with HTML code like unorder list tag with class is equal to list unstyled. Between this tag, we have to write data.map callback function because validation error will be received in JSON format. Under this function, we have to write error as parameter, and after this, we have to write open and close list tag. And between this, we have to write error.message, so this code will convert validation error to array. And for convert array to string, here, we have to write join method with blank separator, so it will convert array to string. And return validation error in HTML format as output, so this function will convert validation error from JSON to HTML format. Now we have goes to main.js file, and here, under this set error message, we have to call set validation error function, and in parameter, we have to write data.error, so it will display validation error on web page. So here, our code is ready for handle admin form validation error, so we have goes to terminal window. And here, we have run node server.js command, which will start node server. So friends, here, we have open admin login form in the browser. And here, first we want to check form data validation is working or not. So here, we have directly click on login button, so here, we can see that required field validation error has been displayed on the web page. Now we have enter email address details, and after this, we have enter password details. And after this, we have click on login button, so here, we can see that success message has been displayed on web page, that means data has been passed from validation rules. So here, in this part, we have learned how to validate form data at Node.js server side and display validation error on web page. In next part, we will learn how to check admin has entered correct email and password data, and if both are correct, then we will generate token by using JSON web token, which will use for validate user login under this system. So these things we will learn in next part, so we will be meet in next part.